National Museum of Singapore, in a way, it is also a place where visitors, well, tourists and Singaporeans alike, they can come here and have an idea of what Singapore's history is about. So, which means we have our permanent galleries. The permanent galleries, essentially you have the Singapore History Gallery, and you have the living galleries, which are really the photography, food, film and wayang, fashion, and you also have the Goh Seng Choo Gallery.
The Goh Seng Choo Gallery, that is the most recently reopened gallery dedicated to showcasing the William Farquhar collection of natural history drawings. It's the largest surviving collection of natural history drawings in this region, and it's historically very significant as well, since it was collected by our first resident. And it's through the Singapore Living Galleries that we offer a more thematic approach to Singapore's history. So we look at fashion or food or photography or film. These are all themes that people will still readily identify with today. And these are themes that people can make the connection or make the comparison quite readily.
Singapore is a special place where you can taste a different kind of food, mix of cultures. So I was really happy to see where the different foods comes from and basically how they are made. It was a nice experience there.
That's what we found to be a fresher and a more exciting way of presenting Singapore's history, and these are the galleries that we hope to connect, especially with our younger audiences.
Came with some of my friends today, so we were just wondering what it was like to go to a museum without a teacher. So today's our first time trying, and it's actually quite fun because you don't need to follow the teachers around.
Permanent galleries in the National Museum, essentially they house collections that tell Singapore's history. I guess as Singaporeans, you'll be interested in the history of your own country. So I think that very fact should interest visitors or Singaporeans.
So this was really like an add-on to what we already learned in school, and it's a really enriching experience because it's out of the classroom and you get to know more about your own country, and it's like very interesting, and we know like about Singapore and how it was like before.
There is the Singapore History Gallery, which has a very strong content, right, telling Singapore's history from the 14th century onwards. So right up to colonial times, pre-independence, post-independence, all the way till the 1970s.
Singapore History Gallery, which presents the 700 years of Singapore history, told mainly through a storytelling approach and offering different perspectives.
When you enter the History Gallery, visitors will be provided with an audio guide. So that guide is supposed to help visitors navigate through the gallery. So and then the device actually allows visitors to actually choose what they want to see in the gallery. And that small device actually holds up about, I think, 9 hours of information. So that's what I meant by History Gallery actually packs a lot of content. So sometimes if you really want a thorough visit of the gallery, I think one day is probably not enough. An interesting approach that we take in History Gallery is to actually use personal perspectives. That's why there are actually two paths in the History Gallery. One is the events path and the other is the personal path. So with the audio guide, you can actually choose which path you want to take. So events path being is a chronological narration of what happened over the years, whereas personal path, it will bring you people's stories about their own experiences and their own perspectives on that particular history.
That's something that we also feel that's very important, that there's no one fixed way of telling history, and it's something that we would like our visitors to go and explore and to decide for themselves.
I'm actually quite interested in during the World War II occupation, where we can see video clips of the Japanese, how they treat the Singaporeans, and there was one thing caught my eye was the parts of the machine gun, I guess, which was quite rusty.
This has like garnered more interest in history from me, and to like learn more about it, like to research more, to add on to like what I know in my writing, and it has also like provided more enriching information.
The museum is always growing its collection, and this collection comprises of anything really, objects and artifacts that are of significance to Singapore. Well, we update our galleries rather frequently, and like you mentioned, that's really to keep things fresh.
We collect donations or we make acquisitions over the years, so we'll try to bring these new artifacts out and replace them with the old ones, so we'll refresh the artifacts.
Some of the updates are rotation of the artifacts. Some of our updates will offer new stories and new perspectives on things. Some of the artifacts in our collection are highlights, and usually we try to keep the highlights there. But we do rotate our artifacts quite regularly. That's partially also because of conservation requirements, because we do need to rotate the artifacts to let them rest, and to rest from display or to rest from exposure to the air and to light. But importantly, we also rotate to let visitors see a different side of our museum, to see different parts of our collection, and to see what else that we have. So while most of the storylines will remain somewhat the same, we just use these regular rotations as means to help us show more of our things.
That would hopefully also bring more people in.
I think people would normally think of knowledge, that the museum is a place where you learn things, and that is certainly true. But I think the museum has much more to offer than just content or knowledge or information. And I would say that it's my desire, and I believe my colleagues as well would agree with me, that we would certainly like our visitors to come to the museum and come to see our exhibitions and galleries, and come away with a broadened perspective, to learn not just new facts, but to have a different way of seeing things. And I believe that when we look at the past and when we look at our heritage, something within us changes also.
I think with every exhibition that we put up, obviously the entire exhibitions team, we put in a lot of work, a lot of hard work, and a lot of thought into every single project. And I guess it'd be nice if people come away thinking, oh, what a cool exhibition this is, or they've actually picked up something, or oh, I never knew that this actually happened in those days. Yeah, I think that would be nice. The second thing would probably be that they've obviously thoroughly enjoyed themselves, that they could actually relate to the exhibition and they could understand the content behind it.